All right, so this is Tim, the worker bee of the farm. Can you tell us about your management practices and how that affects the soil here?
Absolutely. So with our 100% grass-fed cattle, we follow the three principles that all herbivores in nature follow. We follow the mobbing, mowing, and moving principles. Every day we move these cows every day to a fresh paddock, and most days it's actually twice a day. We give them a morning paddock and a night paddock, so that the cows are always constantly moving out of yesterday's droppings and moving on to fresh forages that have been allowed to express themselves each and every day. All right, come on, cows. Come on, cows.
Heidi, you stay right there, okay?
Come on, cows. There you go. Oh, buddy.
Come on, Bucky. You can do it. You can do it.
Hi, Normie. Hi, Normandy. Attaboy, little buddy. On steak. Come on, Bucky.
Ready. Ready.
So moving them every day seems like a lot of work. Why not just put up a perimeter fence and call it a day?
The reason we don't move them every day is because having the cows in one open range field becomes very detrimental to soil health, because the cows are constantly grazing that fifth day of growth on the plants, and it actually encourages the poor species and actually causes the better species to get pushed completely out, because they're the ones that get overgrazed. This causes pastures to become less and less abundant for the animals, and the poor species become stronger, and the good species eventually get pushed right out. And so the other reason we do the daily moves is we're able to expand our land base just by simply moving the cows every day. In our county, the average is the farmers need about 4 to 5 acres per one cow equivalent on their farm. And this year, just on our second year of doing the mob grazing, we've got our average up to, I have about 22 cow equivalents on 35 acres. So I'm already over double the county average right now. With usually in 5 to 7 years, we're able to, the soil will become more vibrant. We'll be able to hit closer to a 1-to-1 ratio, one cow per 1 acre.
Can you talk about mobbing that you mentioned?
Yes, all the herds of herbivores that you see in nature, the buffalo here in North America, what was in North America, they're all, you never saw them all spread out all over the prairie or the plains. They were always, the animals were always tight knit, and this does two things. One, they were tight knit for predator protection, and the second reason the mob is so important in our system is it causes the cows to be very, or a lot less picky about the forages they're eating, because in such a large group they realize when they come into a new area or paddock that if I don't take that bite of grass or forages or legume or whatever is growing on the ground, if I don't eat it now, there's thousands of other animals behind me that are going to take that bite that I didn't get.
Now, can you tell us about the third principle, mowing?
Yes, the mowing. So same thing in nature. Nature, the cows always were mowing their own grass. They were not in a confinement area, typical to a feedlot, where the forages are trucked in. Definitely not grains. So, and here the cows are able to self-consume everything that they're eating. It doesn't have to be trucked in or brought into them. 4 years ago we planted this pasture because it was just it was a soy field the year we bought the farm. So we planted the very first grass seeds, and now we will not have to ever plant again. The forages will continue to thicken, continue to get better. No tillage, no fertilizer, because the cows put their own fertilizer on the land. They're fertilizing it each and every day as they consume the grasses and leaving the trail of nutrients behind them. So in nature, they were mobbed up for predator protection, so they're in smaller areas. They're doing a lot of heavy, dense mowing in the area, and we just imitate those using high-tech electric fence and simple paddock moves each and every day.
And Tim, I'll just add that feeding only grass and forages as the cow is designed to eat, this not only is good for the land, animal, and farmer, it's better for the people who consume the meat. Okay, so 100% grass-fed beef. Can you talk about that label when you see in the grocery store, what that actually means?
Yeah, so since that's a self-regulated term, a lot of the times what the big ag guys are doing just to meet the consumer's desire for having 100% grass-fed beef is they're still raising these cattle in a feedlot situation. And instead of feeding them grain, they're just trucking in expensive fossil-fueled hay and fermented silages and those types of things to eliminate the grain so that they can call it grass-fed.
So you don't really see any of the benefits you see out here, and that product would still be labeled 100% grass-fed beef.
That's right, it would be.
So it makes it tricky to find true pasture-raised, true grass-fed beef that offers all the benefits that we just talked about. So what's the best way to figure it all out, to interpret these labels?
The best way to interpret all these labels is know your farmer and be able to visit the farm that your food comes from and to be able to verify the claim on the label.
All right, well, thanks for joining myself and Tim today on our tour of our grass-fed beef operation. So I hope you would join us as we head over to meet our pasture-raised laying hens. So look forward to seeing you there.